show that can match it. How to name another show that can match it. Everybody from classy to ratchet. Heat fans like Jamal keep the flame alive. Dennis Lee got the lake show locked in 5 to Dub K to Augusta GA. Talk everything from NBA to anime. Chat like homies or debate like enemies. It's all fun and games, just match my energy. Just match my energy. Just match my energy. Yeah.
What's good, everybody? Welcome back to episode 8 of the Match My Energy podcast. Couldn't remember.
I know we got a couple out there already now. So
right, it's starting to pile up. I'm Dennis Lee, aka Dino Fit Dennis.
Hey, this is Jamal, JC2 Bliss.
We got a good one today. I just wanted to start. Because I haven't talked to you that much, man. How was your week?
Hey, not too bad. I was in Atlanta, went to a couple graduations, some ceremonies there. Pretty good. Did some shopping there, trying to get some Christmas gifts and stuff like that. You know, that's around the corner. I'm just trying to solidify some of those gifts and stuff, I'm one of those that got to be in store. I got to look at it in store to get like some inspiration. I might buy it online, but I want to get some inspiration in stores. So that's kind of my way of going about doing things there. So overall, pretty good, man. I'm on vacation, so no work. So this week, supposed to be in the gym heavy in the morning and the afternoon. So starting to crack it early before, people go in for the new year. So.
Oh yeah. Gotta get that early start just so you can be like, no, man, y'all did the new year, new me. I've been doing this.
Yeah, man. I'm a week ahead.
Nah.
What about you, bro?
Man, speaking of graduations, Thursday was my wife's graduation from nursing school.
Okay.
So we went and did that. My family came up there deep, represented. And I kind of told her beforehand, like, you actually gonna get a taste of what it's like to be Black at graduation. You know how that go. They call your name out. Even though they say, hey, let's save the stuff for the end. You know what? I can tell they already do. I
think they should go ahead and stop saying that because they already know everybody's going to yell for their graduates. So you might as well just say, because nobody's holding everything for everybody at the end. Like, what is that? So, yeah.
Nah. So they didn't even give us a little, hey guys, wait till the end. They just went ahead and did it. Man, my family got loud and hyped, and I just love the fact to see how we embrace her or how they embrace her like one of us, because, it just goes to show, how good that bond is. And her family was there as well, cheering on. But like, I think they kind of was like, oh, shoot. Oh, they hype. Oh, that's really how we supposed to yell? Like, yeah. Yeah,
that's good. I mean, when I saw it, I mean, your family definitely embraced her, pretty well. So I'm glad to see that, going through in the future, y'all accomplishment, y'all family both, rocking with y'all heavy. So.
Oh yeah, man. And it's been a long 2 years for this one. She went to school before, and it just kind of made this achievement that much more powerful, I think, because she was in nursing school before and had to stop before I even met her. So this is almost like everything coming full circle 10 years later, I think 10 or more. I forget when she first went, but it was, before I knew her. And so to put that in perspective, it was like, it's very easy for her to have stopped or just thought, I guess I just won't be a nurse then. Back in 2011 or whatever, 2012. And coming right back around 10 years later, did it, very good grades the whole time. She, passing NCLEX first try, all that, so it's just kind of one of those, I guess my saying, defeat is no option.
For sure. I mean, that's continue to persevere through all that. So yeah, it's much overdue. So good accomplishment. Congrats to her.
Yeah, man. So yeah. But yeah, other than that, man, it's getting, I know we always talk weather, y'all, but I'm starting to feel like I only got like 1 or 2 more winters, maybe 3. I might have to move somewhere else. I don't know.
Hey man, I was there for 4 years. That first winter I was not prepared at all. My car was not prepared at all. And I'm good if I don't see snow another day in my life. Like I don't want to see a snowflake. We had a little last year or beginning of this year. We had a little like sleet on the ground, and everybody went crazy. You can scoop up like a snowball on the car or whatever, but that's about as most as I'm trying to see. I don't want to see nothing stick to the ground. I'm good on it.
Yeah, no, it's getting. I already know. Like I told you offline, we're supposed to get the snow tomorrow and then Thursday, but we're predicted to get -3, -6, and all that.
That's what I'm saying. It's different when you have it's different when you have a snow day that you don't have to go through. Like you can just sit at home and be like, oh, it's snowing. That's what it's here. Like everything's shut down. It's in Georgia. In the South, it's like shut down. It's snowing. You already have a free day. Just sit at home, drink some hot chocolate, watch some movies. You done. It's different when you in Kansas in the Midwest and you have to like, okay, it's snowing. Let me just pick up, a bigger coat or whatever, some boots, and I still got to go and endure the entire day, my work day, the same as usual. So that part, I don't like. I'm like, when it snows, I'm ready to shut down.
Man, for real, man, it makes you miss from being a kid, I think. Like, the snow, because back in, I guess y'all wouldn't really know, but like back in the day, we would have snow days. Like, it would snow, like, well, there were some days where it would snow and we would still go to school, but most days you get to chill at home. And like you said, the hot cocoa and the movies and hanging out, and we may go in the backyard and have snowball fight for a little bit, but we at the house.
Yeah.
And we don't got that, now, shoot, and even owning my own business or being like a gym owner at a private gym without memberships, if I don't go in, I don't get paid.
Yeah,
So it's like, it gets back. And I'm not about to try to make my clients go in just for the sake of me making the extra, $100, $200 a day. I'm going to sit at home. And if I want to make sure that they're safe, hey man, we just gonna eat that day or something. Sometimes they'll be like, oh, it's fine, I'll still pay you or whatever. But that's just out the goodness of their heart. But
right, cause then the location you at, that parking lot, it's slick over there. I don't know if they bring like the salt stations and stuff, salt machines.
They try to,
around there,
but
so
yeah, they try to. But
that's what's tough because it's like, yeah, if you go anything on the highway or anything on the main street, yeah, your travel will be fine. But when you go to those you go to the businesses that's like off in a cut somewhere, or there's like, oh, we're not about to drive these vehicles and salt these roads everywhere. So It's going to be like, those are the treacherous areas where it's like, man, how bad did you actually want to go there? And then there'd be times I had to park in a safe parking lot, walk over the ice and snow because I didn't want to drive down there. So,
yeah,
man, I know that's true.
But man, it's been we got a tough one coming up. Shoot, speaking of tough ones, guys, and this week in Jamal Was Right.
Let him know. Let him know. Oh my goodness,
I'm getting roughness all over. I'm getting roughness all over, y'all. We was just singing his praises. We was just talking about him, and y'all know how critical I've been. But as a Lakers fan, it's getting harder for me to say Lakers in 5. AD is down again. This is no surprise, guys. I feel like I'm.
Hey man, you sent that clip. You sent the clip of him getting injured, and I think his ankle, like left ankle, or something like that.
Yeah, it looked like ankle or foot.
Like he got hurt. He went back to the locker room, and then he came back and he was on the bench, and it was kind of like massaging it or whatever, trying to fill it out. So to me, it didn't look like it would be like nothing crazy. Like it missed a 2-day game, 2 games or whatever, and be back. But now when you say out indefinitely for weeks,
at least a month, yeah.
That is like, it's at least a month. But with AD history, it can be lingering because he'll come back and be like, oh, I can't go. It don't feel right. Right. And then he also a bigger body. So I don't know how he is like getting revved back up. But to me, I can't see him like sitting down or being, stationary for too long and to be able to rev back up to those 30 plus points and 15 rebounds.
People have been saying he's been playing his most dominant game in years. It means even before when he won the championship. And I agree. Like, I mean, he really stepped it up, being healthy and killed it. And yeah, man, to see out indefinitely and knowing his track record, there's some players be like out indefinitely and you're like, okay, they'll be back. They'll be back quick. He bounced back. He's the opposite of a bounce back. Like, he's a Tom Brady football.
Man.
Deflate. There's no bounce really there.
Hey, and then it's like right now, like, especially with the Lakers fans, it's like, as long as we get in the playoffs to play in, we have a chance to make some damage.
Right.
But now y'all have like this tough time where it's going to be like, now LeBron's going to have to got to go another gear. And he was always kind of cruising behind AD. That was what I wanted him to do.
Still playing great ball, but
yeah, it's 25-5 and 25, 8 and 5, whatever. Like, he ain't got to go crazy, but now he's gonna have to go crazy. Westbrook is gonna have to, do his best to step it up as well.
Command that second unit.
So it's like right now y'all had a good mesh, but now I'm like, right now I think they're gonna start looking for more trades. I don't think Westbrook is going anywhere, but like Kendrick Nunn, Patrick Beverly, those type of players, they're gonna try to look for trades there. Really be more active, because right now you don't know what the future holds, and you still want to just get some quality wins under your belt before, scrapping into playing. Like, you don't want to be like 12th trying to get to 10th or whatever like that. So you want to be at least like 7, 8 or higher, whatever. So,
especially because of how dangerous the West already is. So there's really no slacking. When you're in the West.
Then it's like, this is stride right now, right after Christmas. That's when everybody start picking it up too. Like, he getting hurt in the wrong time. I ain't the right time to get hurt, but it's definitely a wrong time to get hurt. It'd be now, I'll say around All-Star break, and then anytime like near playoffs or in the playoffs. That's like the absolute worst times. But hopefully he come back strong, man. I did say it, so I do have to say I told you so.
Nope.
But I do wish the best for AD. Hope he come back healthy, because, I mean, when the Lakers are playing well and AD is playing well, it's good basketball to see. It's also good for the league, even because they're going to talk about the Lakers regardless. So might as well talk about them in a good light. So
yeah, I mean, and it really does kind of suck with these Christmas games coming up, man. Like, that's one of the things as an NBA fan you look forward to. As a kid, I like the opening the presents and then watching the games all day with my dad and stuff. But now it's more so, look, okay, y'all, here's y'all presents, whatever. Now let's watch these games.
Right. It's on all day.
I'm tuned into this.
And then Curry out. He got hurt, so he gonna be out for a Christmas game too. So
yeah, because I was looking at the Christmas games, and it's looking like, I mean, of course the schedule's been out, but for the viewing public, the early game is Sixers and Knicks.
The Knicks always got a game. That's crazy.
We got the Sixers and Knicks. And then, of course, we've got the 1:30 game. Well, 1:30 my time. We've got the Lakers and Mavericks.
Mavs got that one.
Mavs got that game, unfortunately.
Luka playing too. He always get up for the Lakers too.
Jeez. You got the Bucks and Celtics at 4.
That's gonna be good. Ooh, that's gonna be good.
I wonder who I'd put on that. I mean, shoot, I might have to get on DraftKings or FanDuel this week, man.
I don't even think I can get DraftKings here. I gotta check, but
get a parlay or something. See if I can get it.
I definitely got Bucks on that one. I think Bucks gonna want that get back. So
okay, let me see. I'm gonna go, and then I'm gonna go Bucks on that one as well. But again, that one's one of those ones where you're scared to make that bet.
And make an invisible bet. Just be like, hey.
Because Jason Tatum, and Jaylen Brown, they gonna go off. So
Giannis might get a 45 piece. If Chris Middleton comes to the party, give him 25.
True. I can't wait to see him all the way back.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he in the East, so he don't have to come all the way back. He don't got to come all the way back.
Forgot about that. And then we got the Grizzlies and Warriors at 7, but that's a Steph Curry-less Warriors versus the Grizzlies with who have been going crazy. I mean, you got Ja Morant, You got Steven Adams, who is definitely a force defensively and really good for those offensive putbacks and those dump offs down there. Just all together, man. I really do like that team, man. That young team. And then finishing off the night, you got the Suns and the Nuggets.
I don't think I'm gonna watch that one, but it's gonna be a good game.
Oh yeah.
That's
I might miss that one. I might catch that the next day or something.
Got the itis after that at that time, so
that's real. So for the who do you think would win the Grizzlies Warriors?
That's tough. I think the Warriors is gonna be looking to get a win, but I think the Grizzlies gonna pull it out, especially on Christmas. I think they're gonna show out on that game. How they played against the Bucks, they just beat the Bucks by like 40-something, 30-something points.
That game
I think they're gonna go crazy. I don't know if they're at home or not though. So
I think it's they'll be in Oakland for that one.
Okay, so it's not gonna be as turned in Memphis, but yeah, I think they'll definitely I think the Grizzlies gonna have it. I don't see the Clay and that team being able to have enough firepower. So
and then the Suns and Nuggets, as well as the Nuggets have been or the Suns have been playing, man, it's definitely still a toss-up for me. Depending on how they play earlier or this week coming up, I would maybe edge out the Suns a little bit. I think they could probably win it by a couple points against the Nuggets. But it's definitely up in the air.
I got Nuggets on that one.
Okay.
2 reasons is because they got 2 players out for the Suns. I forgot one guy, but DeAndre Ayton is out too. So I feel like Jokic is about to go crazy.
Oh shoot, yeah, because you need big man help against the Nuggets for sure.
Yes, I think that's the only way. And then I think whoever control the rebound, they can definitely win on that game. So that one should actually. I mean, it's gonna be late in the evening, but I think it's gonna be a tougher matchup game right there.
That'll probably be the game to watch, honestly, out of all those games. I think that game, even though it's at night, that's probably the reason why it's the last game of the night. It's like the main event. So yeah, I would probably, you know what, I'm changing mine. I'm going to say our official. So if y'all want to, be like, we'll make the same bets that they make, this is just our stupid picks.
All right, don't get no backlash. Say, you said it was gonna win.
Hey, you lost me money. I'm like, well, so did I. So we both out
in the same boat.
So so we got. I didn't even say. Oh, well, obviously, I'm gonna say Sixers for that first game. Mavericks, Bucks, Warriors, and Nuggets. Oh no, Grizzlies and Nuggets.
What was the first game matchup?
Sixers, Knicks.
Oh yeah. That's I don't know because I was like, we got the Sixers been. I don't know. They have, but they're playing against the disappointing. That's true. But the Knicks, if anything, if they get a win on Christmas, like that's a good Christmas present for New York. Miracle. Oh my goodness! If Jalen Brunson give another 30-piece, and somebody else come to the party, then they might have something going on there. But yeah, I'm gonna have Silver Sixers if Joel Embiid and James Harden play, so I definitely gonna have them. But it'd be nice if the Knicks will win at least that Christmas game. Since they always have a Christmas game, I got some gripes about the Christmas game. It should have been Miami, and again, it should be who goes to the conference finals. They got a slot solidified. I'm sorry, you went to the conference finals. Yeah, so it should be Celtics, Miami, whoever we play, whatever. And then on that West, it would have been Warriors and. Was it Mavs? Last year, whatever. But I know they want to keep players and then the markets as well. Like New York definitely get there, but
it was more of a business thing than the game type of thing. Yeah,
but I'm saying I think conference finals should at least solidify those 4 teams. That's why I say because getting the conference finals, because you're gonna always have the people who went to the finals get a game, but I think the conference finals is solidify 4 teams, but. Because I'm trying to think, we only been back once after LeBron left, once or twice.
Yeah. Well, because then you also have to think of, you never know who's going to play as well as they're playing, because these schedules come out before the season starts, before you even know who's all on the team, who's doing what. So if you're going off last year, I still wouldn't have had the Knicks in there, but they always have the Knicks play. And it's in New York. So it's going to be at Madison Square Garden. So
Yeah, that's like having like and I don't know, you got the perfect fact check to go like the Cowboys on Thanksgiving.
Right. They always play. Yeah. Cowboys always play
Yeah.
on Thanksgiving. And the Eagles, I believe.
So it's kind of one of those like those teams would definitely always have a spot, whether it's just
Where they
me,
suck
you
or
out there.
not. Yeah. Right. Yeah. So yeah, man. You know what? I might even put down my affiliate link for FanDuel. And if y'all want to click in on that, save and actually use FanDuel Bucks to make a bet if you want to, then go ahead. But yeah, I'll probably, follow those picks. If
See
you
what happens.
see what happens, but yeah, speaking of Suns, I know we just talked about this last week, but literally the game just came on last night, man. And we're recording this on a Sunday. And Devin Booker almost had a historic night.
60 piece. A
Yeah,
60 piece.
a 60 piece, man. And
yeah, that was
it was a great game, man.
Yeah, I was texting him last night. I was like, man, you got to watch this. You turn this on right now. Zion, I thought the Pelicans was going to win. The way Zion was driving to the basket, it was like they could not stop him. Like, he'll shake somebody and then just dunk. He'll shake somebody, lay up, put back. I mean, everybody know his play style. Yeah. But they was going to him, and then they was kicking out. He was controlling the ball like the play a game, and then he'll kick out for an open three. And CJ was hitting it in the first half, but the second half he didn't come. So he just couldn't shoot. But Devin Booker, man, he had the ball. It looked Kobe-esque in a way where it was like everybody cleared out. It don't matter who was guarding him. He went to shot, the fadeaway, spot up three, dribble up three, pull up. It was like spectacular. It was like video game looking like every play, like, yeah, he gonna hit it. And then at the end, Chris Paul hit one as well, so a three. So kind of solidified they win. But yeah, Devin Booker really strung. I mean, it was down by like 24 in the third quarter.
No, I thought for sure. So, I thought for sure it was going to point out because you saw that wide gap. I was like, oh man, it's really showing their dominance. And I even texted you before, like, yo, you think they'll be able to stop him? You think they'll be able to, slow Zion down? And I think for me, when I was watching, one thing I noticed is I think you kind of have to let Zion do his thing, but you expose him when he's on defense. And I think they did a really good job of doing that by switching on picks and stuff like that. And then he ends up having to hold a guard, or not just a guard, Devin Booker. When you watch him trying to guard Devin Booker, who's making the low dribbles, quick, shifty left to right moves, and with the big, clunky Megatron build that Zion has, it's hard for him to, move like that. And then like that quick step back three, or the long ball, because there was a couple that were just like long twos that he hit. Yeah, it really exposed to where it was like you would see Zion have to like almost rely on the help of his guy that's behind him to jump out and contest the shot at the last second.
Yeah, because his body is like more of like a bang and low, like getting rebounds, boxing out type of frame. When he guarding guards, to me his hip don't move. His hip doesn't move quick enough. Like he don't move. He can't swivel fast enough. So it's like he either can slide over and try to take a charge, or like he can press his body against some and then have them like. To me, he's like his body's like a magnet to the offensive player. So it's like once he sticks to you, you are basically controlling how Zion moves. But he can't move or swivel. Like it doesn't look like he can swivel by himself automatically. It's like it's really tough for him. So it's tough. I was like, especially with a shifty guard, like you need to have somebody else guarding him. Yeah. And they put on Alvarado, is that his name?
Yeah. Jose Alvarado. Yeah.
So they put on him, but he's too small. Like when Devin Booker jumps for the jump shot, one of the commentators was like, "Oh, y'all got to switch him up. He's too small."
Well, because then it's like, yes, he's quick for the face guarding for like while he's dribbling and all that. But like I was saying, when they were making those picks, so Jose would be guarding him. They make that pick. Now you got Zion on him. You're almost exposed either way. So they needed somebody else or something else, and it really exposed. And I think that's probably what what changes they made during the halftime. They was like, "Yo, honestly, y'all, I know we down, but
they can't guard me, bro.
they can't guard me. Hold on now." So man, seeing that, I think that's eye-opening for the Pelicans, so they have to make that change. I think someone needs to work with him or something on his agility. I don't understand why they don't. I get like, yo, if his play style is so dominant, then why change what's not working? But
I think the way they look at it is like he's so big and strong. Like when he goes against anybody on the defensive end, they'll be like, "Oh, we can't get through him," which is cool, but I can get around him. Like I don't have to go through Zion. I can go around him. So this with the picks, like I just get a pick and get him off because he ain't going through. He's not going around or going through a pick. So it's like honestly, I can just pick him off. So and that's it. I'm done with dealing with Zion. And then they couldn't get no offensive boards in as well. So it's like I was actually going for the Pelicans. I actually want the Pelicans to stay a high seed going into the playoffs. But
same here, honestly.
y'all guys can't even get the offensive rebounds. I'm like. I mean, y'all not playing to win. Like to me, y'all were scrappy in the first two games. They all three games they played. I think that's the last. I don't think they're playing again actually. But I think they said I mean they always close games, so y'all knew what y'all was coming in for. I think they cruised a little bit with the lead, of course, but y'all understand like it's been close the first two matchups this season. Like they was gonna go out without a fight. So to me, you got to close those type of games out for sure. Like, just say you have 3-0, like, just to have that. In fact, I mean, you're still up 2-1 in the series, but just to say you had 3-0, like, y'all ain't be beating the season.
I think they're supposed to play, well, if they've only played 3 times, I think they play them one more. So I think you play some conference teams 4 times, and East-West, you play twice. Like, 1 East, 1 West, like that. Maybe. I could be off, but I just remember from 2K. But and then also from like learning the game and watching, but yeah, man, I think it's probably they were probably riding off the high of maybe last week with the whole, 360 dunk at the end and
they definitely wanted that payback for that.
Yeah. And so, I think there was just all the stuff that went in with that. But yeah, there's actually someone else I wanted to bring up. A player that actually was out of the league for a little bit, and I was kind of wondering, like, why is there not a team that wants him at the moment? And they finally got him back, and he showed y'all why. Kemba Walker. Kemba Walker, first off, all the way from UConn days. The first one I actually saw do the little dribble in step back shot.
He had that on lock.
Yeah.
He had that dribble step back package on lock.
The first person I seen do it.
Game winner.
Who against Pitt? I remember that. I remember going crazy on the ship watching that game. Oh my! That's the first time I was like, "Who is this guy?" Okay, write him down. Everything I want to know everything about this guy. Where he from? But yeah, man, seeing him back had a great return. I'm messing up on the stats.
He had 32 points. I know that.
32.
On the math, I think Luka was out, so he was starting point guard for the team. The only thing is they did end up losing the game. That's the only thing, but he still showed that he was able to win. So I was like, to me, he still will have a roster spot when Luka comes back. With that, it could be like he could put in that Jalen Brunson role a little bit where, hey, I can give you, at least 15 points. So I can also play make and I get my own bucket without needing to look at the pass me the ball. So I think Kemba's a great fit for that. And I mean, he led teams. I mean, not like he went deep anywhere, but Celtics, I mean, with the Hornets as well, like he led teams as a point guard. So he knows how to at least play that role. He may not be able to be like, 12 assists a game type of player, but he'll definitely be able to run.
Right.
But he also a scoring guard, so he can get his own bucket down to look for Luka to be like, okay, Luka, he'll give me your 12 seconds, dribble, see what you do, a fancy pass, and I have to,
right. You don't have to wait
try to make the shot so you can be able to,
that may actually help
his own shot.
it may actually help Luka because now Luka doesn't have to do the 12 dribbles, the
Right.
14 seconds with the ball. And now you have to worry about this guy over here. So now you can't just, So, I mean, yeah, I'm looking now. 32, 7 assists, 5 rebounds. That's a really
That's good.
good welcome back.
First game back. Exactly. Exactly.
So, yeah, I think, they just need to iron everything off. Plus, they lost to a pretty decent Cavaliers team by 1 point in overtime. So,
oh yeah, the Cavs, yeah, that was a tough game too. So if he was able to score that much on them, like it's a good.
They're very good at guarding guards.
Yeah.
Like they have a lot of personnel for that. So to see him do that, very good on the way back. Yeah, I'm looking at it and their roster actually looks kind of short right now.
Which one?
The Mavericks. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I was like, that's why I'm like, I don't see the Mavs like being able to go too deep with Luka because we was talking about his play style already. So it's like, but his role players around him, I don't see them like anybody stepping up. I thought Christian Wood would be that player, but I don't know.
I mean, he had 26 and 14 last night.
I need that a day. Even like, I feel like he was that player. Like people thought he could lead a team. So I was like, maybe not to the finals, but he could be the leader of the team. Like 25 and 14, 25 and 12. I think that would be a great stat line that he could be able to achieve. But I don't know. I think they need somebody else.
Yeah, true.
Luka needs another bona fide star. I don't have to be a superstar, but I think another star that's a shot creator. Yeah. I would say like a Brad Beal type role. That'll be somebody there. But
yeah,
Bradley, if you're listening, if you can please make your way to Miami, please, bro. We have been looking for you for a while.
That's real. That's real.
But I think he does have a connection with Jason Tatum, so they was talking about maybe
going up there. Oh yeah,
going up there, or if Tatum want to make that jump to Wizards.
Oh my jeez. I can see it.
I'm just throwing it out there. We'll see if it comes true. So
yeah, I mean, especially with them, I guess losing a player to retirement. So that's one of the reasons why I think their roster has gotten even smaller. And it was actually a weird retirement. A 22-year-old. He'd only been in the league for what was that?
2 years, I think.
2 years? Yeah.
Yeah, they said he was and this is Tyrell Terry.
Tyrell Terry, yeah, 22.
He just announced his retirement this week. I think he was with the Mavericks, but he was currently on the Memphis Grizzlies. And then kind of put his retirement out there on IG saying it was due to anxiety. He had anxiety about playing and stuff like that. So it was, really impact him a lot. And for him to be so young to identify it, I give him props to that. Identifying something that, is something going on with him mentally, emotionally, that he didn't want to continue to play basketball, kind of consume his life already.
Yeah.
So to me, it's tough. But yeah, man, 22, it's so young. It's like, I don't know, you make it to that stage, a lot of people look at him and like, well, why you just don't put in extra more, a couple more years, you're making $1 million.
Just be tough. Be this, that. Yeah.
Exactly. So
you're getting paid millions, you should be able to, all that. Yeah. But
it's a lot.
People aren't understanding, like, if my mind isn't right, I can't do any, like,
exactly.
And it is alarming and different, I guess, that we're seeing that like in lots of other sports. When we had Naomi Osaka, when she, I think it was like the French Open, she declined because she had to get her mind right due to mental health. The gymnast, Gabby, was it Gabby or forget which? I don't want to get her wrong, but I remember she also, there was a gymnast who went stopped in the Olympics as well because of that. Kevin Love talked about that as well, like how it was traumatizing for him to even walk out of huddles.
Yeah, that's crazy. DeMar DeRozan have said some stuff about, having mental health and anxiety issues and stuff like that. around the game. It's just something that I think is more prevalent right now. I think a lot of people are just like, I think a lot more people deal with it. It's just not a lot of people is actually speaking on it and being
Oh yeah.
upfront with it because they don't want that stigma on them. Like, oh, he has mental health issues. He needs to be hospitalized. Something's going on with him.
Yeah.
I don't think he can be functioning, a functioning adult with having mental health issues. I don't see. So it's a lot of stigma that comes around it. And that's why you see a lot of athletes don't really speak on it, but they deal with it, privately.
Yeah.
And, you don't hear until stuff come like something bad happens or they went to jail for something or went to prison for something. And
Or they're strung out like a Delonte West, who also was a prominent Maverick for a while and got helped by the Mavericks owner.
yeah, it's like you don't hear things until they actually struggling with the thing. So
Right.
it's like,
and then you say, "What? We should have been able to help. We should have." Okay, well, how about this? People aren't realizing that. I mean, I'm not saying that we shouldn't say anything as fans and things like that, but you have to realize what that does to them. Like, we almost forget that they're humans. So
right.
when every night you suck, we're bashing them. Yes, you got to be able to be strong and do that, but we're in a whole different era where if you, like, back in the day, you could hear all the "you sucks" and this and that, but then as soon as you leave the house or as soon as you leave the arena, yeah, I don't hear it anymore. Now people are on their phones. People are, they're on social media.
Yeah, and it's like, so,
all of your comments is this if you have a bad game.
I mean, yeah, now people got access to DMs. But hopefully some people got it blocked off where it's private and stuff like that. But then people got like friends of the family. You got family. It's so many different avenues to attack somebody in a circle, especially if you know people, especially they in the public eye. So it's like you really don't have your privacy as well. And that kind of goes back to anxiety. So you have anxiety about playing, but you also have things like social anxiety where you're like, why is everybody kind of get eyes on me? Or I can't be out in public places all the time because I'm like scared or nervous about something going on that's going to happen. I can't be out with my people like that because, I have to care about their protection, and then honestly, it's the life of a celebrity. You think about all the security that they have to consider just by going to check the mailbox. You know what I mean? Like, it's different things like they have to put up. Yeah, they have money,
nothing's private for you. Like nothing, like you can't go to the, oh shoot, I need toothpaste. And now you get seen picking up a Crest and Colgate's like, when everybody's like, oh, that's stupid. Why'd you get Colgate? And you're like, dang, man, I was just, so it's like literally nothing I can do. That's everything that you do is scrutinized. Or what if you're having a bad day? What if you're just having a bad day? You're just already down. Like they said, a lot of these people are already suffering from mental health issues and they have high anxiety or they're depressed or whatever. They're like, you know what? People don't understand how hard it is for you to even get out the house, even put clothes on, even brush your teeth when you're going through bouts of depression. But you have people who are traveling to the games and playing, not even wanting to maybe be here or whatever. And so you have people who are doing that. Let's say they threw the hoodie on and they went to the store. I'm gonna just go get me something to eat real quick. And now they're sitting there. Hey man, can you take a picture? Can you do this? Can you? Look, man, I'm trying to, smile. I'm trying to be nice, but
right,
I don't have it in me today.
And then it cannot even be like, it could be like somebody's mood or their personality. Like, just because, somebody say I'm having a bad day, or I'm just not a social person in general. Like, that can be somebody's personality. Like, somebody can be like, I don't really, I do my job, I go home, I entertain my family, and that's it. I don't need to go out and be seen, be social, go to lounges and stuff like that. Some people just don't function that way. And just because I'm making $1 million doesn't make me more social. Like, I don't see that correlating at all. So it's like, if anything, it makes you less.
Yeah, I don't owe you anything. I'm just I'm going out doing a job. And this job that I happen to be really good at requires me to be in front of millions of people.
That's what I was about to say. My job is just public. That's the only difference. Like, if I was doing if I was doing whatever job, 9-to-5 job, a traditional job, I would still be I'll still go home. I still won't be social. It's not just because I'm making $1 million and I'm public that I want to, face all this other stuff. I mean, and to me, I'm like, going back to Tyrell, I think the biggest thing is his expectations on him and his family as well. Like, I don't know his circumstances. I don't know him personally, of course not. But you can kind of think like if anybody in their family goes to a professional sport, we hear it all the time. Everybody expectations. Oh, I got to take care of the parents. My siblings, my family. I'm like the family savior right now. Like I'm about to take care of for generations to come. So it's like it's a lot of that. Like if you perform, like we as fans look at a person and be like, oh, he scored 2 points, he sucked. But in his head, when he went home, he's like, oh my goodness, I'm not gonna be able to get this next contract.
Right. I won't be able to keep paying for I won't be able to, I just started paying for my little sister to go to college. How am I, I'm gonna let her down.
I just bought this crib for my mom, you know what I'm saying? I just got this whip, you know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, they got new money, but they also got new bills and more responsibilities that they, honestly, they family and friends put on it. I don't want to blame their family and friends, but it's some pressure that she put on just by getting to that point where it's like, okay, well, you might be dealing with something, but if you could just play this one game for us, to give us one more season, that's a couple more $1 million. But it's tough. I mean, if you're really dealing with something like that, it's really tough to be like, I know everything's on me, but that just adding more pressure and like it's like a tightness in your chest that you can't even play anymore. It's like,
oh yeah,
I'm not performing, but then at the same time, I'm trying to perform because I know, how much it can advance my family and my generation, wealth and stuff like that. So
yeah, because you got to think like for them, it's of course, it's a competitive sport, yes, but not just competitive in the way that we think about it. Like the Knicks scored 127 to the so-and-so's 100, but it's also competitive in your own team or in your own life because, okay, let's say we're all for mental health. We want to, take care of our players. Hey, man, have a mental health day. Don't, Tyrell Terry is not playing today because of mental health reasons. But then his backup goes off and has a Linsanity moment.
Yeah.
Now we got to keep this going because of
he's hot.
Michael Jenkins scores, 40 somehow off the bench. Oh, shoot, let's figure out that, so now he's like, I can't even take a mental health. I can't even take the breaks that I probably need because that'll cost me lots of money, lots of potential stuff that could end up happening. And that's a lot of pressure for a person. So it's like, man, I'm going to go ahead and bow out. Because I think I'm trying to remember, I think he went to like Stanford or something like that.
Yeah, he did. And the thing that I feel like is super tough with mental health and sports is that it's no like one glove fits everybody. So it's like everybody can battle it differently. People is, different spectrums of what somebody's going through. So it can't be like, all right, everybody in NBA get like 3 mental health days if you want to take those. You can't standardize it. You can't you can't say, oh, this person, okay, he's been out for a week. I think he should be good enough. Come on back to the team. Like you should be over what you're going over. So it's like you can't go through it. I think the best thing is for players to be more honest with the team, and then the team y'all come over to plan with for the individual.
Yeah, but I think a lot of times, a lot of players are afraid to be honest because okay, we're also dealing with the old generation versus the new generation. So the newer generation of people are more, I would say, as a whole, are a little bit more in tuned with mental health and the seriousness behind it. Whereas the old generation would be, they never would really say depressed. They would just say, oh, he's a little sad. He just gets a little sad sometimes. Or he doesn't have PTSD. He just a little off. Or whatever. They always downplay it and things like that. So if one of these new school players, some kid who's literally like him, 22, goes, hey, guys, I just want to tell you guys I suffer from social anxiety and this and that, and even mild depression, clinical depression, something like that. My therapist has even, my psychologist have actually diagnosed these. This isn't some thing that I saw on TikTok or something. This is real. They're gonna be like, here goes this kid whining again, and here goes it, this new generation so soft and this that. It's like, no, we're actually more in tune. We're not just going to drink our problems away or bury it down until we die of a heart attack at 50.
Yeah.
We're actually going to take care of things. And it's so, but the people that they have, that a Tyrell Terry has to, addressed or talk to about this is some 50, 60, 70-year-old team owner or well, I guess him in particular. What's the owner's name? The famous billionaire. Why am I blanking? For the Mavericks.
Oh man, I see his face.
1 second, y'all, because his Mark Cuban. Mark Cuban.
We should definitely have got that one.
Yeah, Mark Cuban. So one thing that I do like about him, though, and like him specifically, is he's very much so a helping. He's one of the helping billionaires that we have. I don't want to get into all that, but he's one of the ones that we do have that actually goes and tries. He's actually done things like he invented a company, and I think big pharma and stuff like that tried to like do all they can to hinder him. Basically, like it sold generic versions of all the medicines that you need at a way lower price. Like let's say insulin's $300, which isn't even off. I'm probably close to the real price of it. And you need insulin. Like if someone's a type 1, type 2 diabetic, whatever, you need insulin. It's not like it's some extra drug that you need or that you want. It's actually a need for people, or you'll die. Mm-hmm. Other places are charging $300. You can get it on his website for like $15, $20.
Yeah.
And so he invented things. So he's actually like for the people. So even him, who's very understanding and things like that, sometimes it's still an older person, still a lost in translation when you're trying to convey the proper message. Or I'm also thinking about my dollar. Like, yeah, okay, sure. But my boy Luca right here is making me money. My boy, you may not be that.
That's
high.
what I was saying. That's what I was saying. If you think about like so this player is not a star player on his team.
Right.
But if we was to have the same conversation with the star players, I don't even think even Mark Cuban, like even owner like that, would even look at it, because it's not only that I'm thinking about you mentally, yes, but now you're hurting my pocket right now. Like, because if you're not out there, we know for sure fans aren't going to want to come. We know you're about to lose this game, might not make playoffs. Like, how many days, how many months can we afford? Do you have to, to go through your battles? You know what I mean? So it's like, it's also, I think it's a part of that, because once you become a certain level of a talent on the team, people are like, sorry, we can't afford you. You ain't injured for real. Like, you can't be taking these days like this.
Yes. See, and even that, a lot of times, period. When we think about mental health, period. When you said that you're not hurt for real. That is a big thing that we've heard from a lot of people. I saw when I'm kind of Gabby. Was it Gabby Douglas? I think it was Gabby Douglas who, cause she was the GOAT. She's the GOAT, basically. She like had the whole GOAT rhinestones on her unitard. And I saw a lot of people saying, and she got a lot of flack with people saying things like, well, if she's the GOAT, she should be able to do things, even with that. She's not like she's actually hurt. If she was actually hurt, I can understand. It's like, well, the mind is more powerful than anything else on your body. You can't, if your brain is broken, and I think that's also people's preconceived notions, or them not actually knowing what these things are.
Yeah,
because, I think you can't put a cast on a brain. So I can't show you, oh, this is hurt right here or whatever.
Yeah, and I think that was the biggest thing about Ben Simmons. I think when his stuff came out, that's why I was kind of concerned about that one, because the way it came out, it didn't seem like he was legitly having issues. But it's something like you can't show an image on social media or on TV and say, oh, he's having issues, or this person, oh, she's having issues.
Can't pinpoint.
Like, so it's kind of like when he says that, it does blanket, and that's why the NBA kind of took concern to it, because it's like he really could be telling the truth, but he couldn't be. And that's why I'm like, I do hope he was telling the truth, because you don't want to have that be an excuse going in the contracts and going to different discussion, because it's like, if you're dealing with something, then yes, address it. But if you're just saying you just want to cover it up and you want to use his mental health blanket because, people, it's a touchy subject and people is not going to, probe you too much about it. So I think that's when it's hard to be like, okay, y'all, we have to draw a line somewhere. Like, I think this person's faking it. This person's being real. Like, how do we know?
But you can do that with back injuries. But we care more about physical things.
Exactly. It's something that you can't see. So it's like, yeah,
man.
it's,
And
it's tough.
that's a big thing, especially because of I guess the general public's view on mental health. Because I think about, like you said, like when you said there isn't a, like when they come on TV and they have like a certain face, like you may see him cheering for a play that happened while he's sitting on the sideline at a game or something.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're like, well, how can he be depressed? He's smiling.
Right.
How can he be this? He's that, and it kind of makes me think of Steven Twitch Boss. RP to him.
Yep.
American Dancer, was on the DJ for the Ellen Show.
Yep.
A father, a husband, most important, a husband, father, most importantly, above all those other titles, and had just celebrated a wedding anniversary. And I saw that he, when I saw that he, self-transitioned like that, because I feel weird using those other words, like trying to like say it the wrong way. But when I saw him self-transition the way he did, and then when you look at his last post on Instagram, because a lot of people do that, they go back and look, he's literally smiling and dancing and doing a choreographed dance with his wife for the holidays that we all, man, he entertains us.
Right.
And so where could we have looked at him in the public and go, oh, right there is where there's his depression, or there it is. When a lot of times depression is the stuff we don't see. It's him waking up and going, okay, I'm gonna try to make myself smile today.
Yeah, and I think, that was one thing I talked to my family, my mom about. I was like, we also, everybody says check on your strong friends, check on your friends. Mm-hmm. But when you do check on them, it's also on them as well to kind of give you like some feedback. It's hard to probe somebody if they're not giving you anything as well. Like if they're saying like, you also have to know that person, how they are as well. Like you should be able to, sometimes you can tell if, your friend's kind of faking it for the day. Hey, what's going on? This is not really you. This is what's going on here. Yeah. But it's hard to really like go in and be like, okay, let's sit down. Let's dig deep. What's really going on right now? It's really hard. And somebody's like, no, I'm good. Family good. Getting paid well. Everything's good, man. Life's good. And then, stuff happens. And that's where I think it hurts the most is when you actually try to reach out, but you still can't figure out if something's going on or if somebody's truly okay. And that's why it's important to have like genuine conversations frequently.
Yes.
Not just when you kind of notice something going wrong or, okay, it's been a year. Let me just reach out to see what's going on. Let me just do my annual checkup. If you have those freaking conversations, one, you can know, the demeanor of that person
when they are,
and every time changes. Oh, yeah. So I think that's probably the best things. And it's just tough here in a situation like this, especially when you have young children involved and stuff like that. It's just families, it's just tough to hear those type of stories. We're just hearing a lot of these more recently going on and stuff like that. So
yeah, it's like we just had an episode where we, dedicated the last 15, 20 minutes of it to Jason David Frank, who passed the same way, and for many of us who looked at him like a superhero or someone that we look up to, or, and I even think back to a Robin Williams. Robin Williams did nothing. That was everyone happy every day. I guarantee that anyone listening to this has at least one or two stories or movies or something where they were laughing, genuine laughs because of Robin Williams.
And that was a tough one, man.
Yeah. But it's like, who cheers up the person who cheers up who? You know what I'm saying? It's like in The Watchmen. The Watchmen, with the joke, with the comedian, where he talked about, he had that joke where there was this guy who went to this therapist and he was sad, and he kept telling him, I'm very depressed and this and that, and the therapist kept telling him, try this, and then he goes, hey, you should try going to go see this clown. This clown is super funny. You'll love him. He'll be great. He'll definitely cheer you up. And he's like, but I'm the clown.
Mm.
And so it's kind of like who is going to be there for me?
Yeah.
You know, and I think that one of the things when it comes to checking on our strong friends or checking on our friends, period, the ones that we see could be down or whatever, is also making sure that we're making it to where they know that they can be vulnerable to us or we can be vulnerable to them. Because a lot of men or people, I guess I'll just speak from my point of view.
Mm-hmm.
I know that like in my community or in my people, like as like a Black man, I've often felt like I didn't really have, or I don't really have too many places to be super vulnerable. So who do you
Without being
talk to?
judged.
Yeah, without being judged. Man, you weak, or you did.
Right.
Boy, just toughen up, bro. Like, because when you think about it, like as a dude, like we just keep talking about different. Of course, there have been a lot of women, but we see that 80% of suicides have been by men in America.
And it's tough, man.
And it starts when we're little. It starts when we're little. When you fall and scrape your knee, it's different from when your sister falls and scrapes her knee.
Yeah.
Get up. What you whining for? Da-da-da. Come on now. Like, be tough. Wipe those tears off. Okay, but what if I need these tears right now? What if I actually need to cry and get this out? And so a lot of times we have, you know, a lot of people don't have or don't feel like they have the open space to fully say this to their friend. Yeah, we talk this all day, we joke around, we laugh, but what about when it's time for the serious conversation?
Yeah, and then like one of the things, and I think that's one thing that's bad for us is like when we do have a serious conversation, one is very quick,
Mm-hmm.
and then it's a joke right after it. Like
right.
It's like, okay, all right, so what we about to watch? What we about to eat now? Like it's something real quick. So it's like, dang man, I was really about to get into it, but now it's like
I don't want to bring us back down. Yeah,
and we kept the surface level. Now we got to bring the energy. That's also the biggest thing because the environment that you're in, nobody wants to start talking about something and bring it like the mood down. Which
right.
I mean, what person you know is always on a high mood? I was like, y'all, we can accept this moment, be vulnerable, talk about it, and then just because, and I also say this because somebody's giving advice to somebody or trying to cheer up another person, that doesn't mean the person who's giving advice is better or at a better position either. It's like we're both mentoring, you know, giving like dialect back to each other because you don't know what he's going to say or she's going to say that's going to help you in the end as well. It's not like, okay, I think I'm doing good mentally. I'm about to help this person that looks like he's not doing well. No. And then, well, I was like, we both, you know, everybody's going to
be struggling. Yeah,
exactly. That's what I'm saying. I think that's the biggest thing. It's like when people have conversation, they feel like, oh, he's a stronger individual mentally. Let me go talk to him, get advice from him. He should be able to know. It looks like he got his life going on.
Yeah,
that's not always the case. It could be like, hey, we both have some issues. Let's just talk about it, get it out on the table, and see what we can, you know, see what we can get advice from. And then also, if you really do need, like, you need to start setting up formal therapist sessions as well.
Oh yeah.
I think it's one of the things is a lot of people try to self-diagnose themselves, or they'd be like, "Oh, my friend said I'm okay, so I think I'm good."
Yeah.
So just because you got one or two friends that's always going to be in your corner, which is nice, that's not always the case that you need to be. So I think that's why, you know, we have those positions. Like my mom's a therapist, so it's like those people are in your life for sure. So you definitely want to go and, you know, set an appointment, see how it is. I think one thing I think more people should do is because you can be more vulnerable to somebody you don't know. So you won't be judged automatically. So that's why I think that's the biggest thing as well. It's like people like will keep a surface level with only their friends and family, but when they can go to somebody actually dig deep, like you can just say, I think and then people right now, I think we're in a good place where going therapy is not like looked at the same way as it was in the past, where people was like, "You in therapy? What is going on?
What's wrong with you? Are you crazy? Are you? Yeah.
What's going on with you?
Yeah, yeah. Do you need to go to the? We used to think about it like a straight jacket, lock, you know, in the past.
Yeah, type of thing. Like, did your job authorize this? What's going on? Did you get in some trouble that you got to do this for?
Right.
You know, mandatory therapy or something like that, like anger management or something. So
it always had to be something extreme like that. When that's true. And I think and I always make this joke, like I feel like for Black people, and it could be other cultures as well, but in my understanding, my scope of the world, I've noticed that like for Black people, it feels like therapy and mental health awareness just got cool like 6 years ago. I feel like it's just like a new fad when people have been sad their whole lives.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to say cool, but it's like it's
They're
starting
not
to be
cool.
more
It's
more
less
accepting.
taboo. It's less taboo
it's
now.
more accepting now. Like people
Yeah,
is like, oh, he's dealing with something. Okay, so what is he dealing with? Okay, cool. And then like, but I still think it's still not at a point where it needs to be, because when people
no.
say they have issues, to be like, okay, I'm depressed. Okay, but he can still go to work, so he's not that depressed. Other person depressed, or he can stay in the bed. Okay, he's really is depressed. So it's like people still have levels to
Yeah,
everything that you have, and it's like you just can't say you have issues. You have to, one, describe the issue, how severe it is, how it's affecting you, and it's like nobody just can accept you for what it is. Like
right.
you have to have like a novel next to it to say these are my symptoms of this. Okay, he actually is, actually pretty.
And it's like, who are you? You're just a random. You're the grocery bag dude at Kroger, and you're trying to tell people who is and isn't depressed.
Yeah,
Or
exactly. I
you're
was
the
like,
night shift manager at such and such, and your son or whoever comes to you and says, "Hey, I think I'm depressed, but I'm not sure because I'm not a therapist or I'm not a psychologist. I think I need to go talk to someone." And you go, you're just a little sad, man. Yo, cheer up. Come on, man. Let's go play basketball. Let's do something.
or the notorious go
No,
sleep it off.
go sleep it off. You need to pray.
Bro.
You need a this. You need a okay. And I'm gonna quick story without putting actually any names in it because I don't like to expose people. But I had a family member who, and it was during Thanksgiving, who was actually talking about how he had just recently lost a close friend of his to who self-transitioned because he'd been like, yo, man, I'm sad, I'm this, calling him up. And he'd go over there, he'd pray with him, he'd talk to him, yo, man, what can I do to cheer you up and this and that. And then one day he ended up being very calm and like he didn't really care about anything. And then later that night, he found out that that's when it happened. And so the next day he goes and, because I guess like he lived by himself. So the next day, that's when he was found and the police were there and all that. And he was like, no, I have to see. There's no way this is real, blah, blah, blah. He goes in there and actually sees his friend like that. And we were all talking about it. And he was like, because he's an older man. And he goes, I originally had one view of like depression and mental health, anxiety and stuff like that. Like I thought, man, they just need to just work hard. They just need to just try to, be positive and stuff like that. Not realizing that these are real traumatic things, or it could be just something that's just wrong with a person that they need to help try to fix. And then I even kind of chimed in when he said that. And I was like, yeah, it could be, it's also a chemical imbalance in the brain. When your hormone levels are off, that can cause certain things like that. And then I had another family member who was standing next to me who went, or it's a choice. And I was like, what? And he just kind of looked at me and goes, yeah, a choice. Like he just dropped like a truth bomb on me. And I was like, bro, this is crazy. This is crazy because as a person who was in the Navy for 4 years, that's it. I just did a quick for y'all. I have brothers and sisters in arms who have died that way. And it's to say something like that is just a choice. And even friends that weren't in, even friends who are just, regular buddies of mine from the sandbox. And for you to just look at that and just say it's a choice, it sounds crazy but I think about where did that mindset come from? It's not just him. That stuff is taught, is brought on. It's how everybody around him is probably also thinking as well.
Right.
And so how could let's say I'm going through something and I want to go to that because it's an older family member of mine who I could say that when I was younger, I looked up to. when I was a little kid. Let's say I were to go to him and go, hey, I am struggling with my depression today. What would his response probably be? It'd be like, wow, man, just, cheer up, man. Choose to be happy today.
You're right.
Like I can just turn it off, turn it on, and so
and that would really mess with you too.
Exactly.
You looking at him like a superhero. Like he is up there on that pedestal for you at that age. And if he give you advice, you only take that, word is bond almost like this is what he said. This is what, okay, it's a choice. So how do I do that?
Now there's something wrong with me. Now there's something wrong with me because I can't choose to turn this off.
Right.
It's a lot, and I know that like there's no way that I'm the only person who has that type of family member or someone that's even worse. Like, boy, just shut up, go eat some food, go do whatever else, and that will kind of shove that off. So you'll have these people that will feel like there's nowhere to go. The closest people in my life treat me like this. So why would a stranger be any better? Not knowing that that stranger is probably going to help you out a whole lot. That stranger actually has a degree, has multiple degrees in this, and has empathy, and has who is literally ready to take on all that, and a therapist, and isn't perfect. Because I actually have a few clients who are therapists, and they will straight up tell me, like, man, my life is not together right now. I got this going on, that going on. But when I have my clients, they don't know nothing about me. And I know they're coming in here to pay me to listen to them.
Right. And then it's also people like that have went through every facet of life as well. I think that's one of the biggest things, especially, in the military, is like if you are given a therapist, I feel like that therapist needs to be somebody who's affiliated, have gone through it or have been closely tied, a spouse or somebody who's gone through it or something like that. Because if you don't have that mindset or perspective, when somebody's talking about it, it's kind of like it can go out the ear and one the other. So I think it's also identifying a therapist, but also identifying one that resonates with you as well. I think that's a big thing. And it's also because it's also tough. There's a lot of jokes talking about how can I go to a white therapist if I'm Black? That's a running joke as well. And it's I'm not saying you have to go to somebody who's exactly like you because they're not the one that's going to always give you the best advice or the best.
Or it could be triggering. Well. It could be triggering because what if I went to someone who looks just like me, and I'm like, oh shoot, he definitely gonna judge me because I already know what people that look like him gonna be
exactly.
like.
So I was like, you definitely have to find your right person, and that's why. You see a lot of people get like trial runs, like free sessions. Right. You also get a lot of like different therapists that you can choose from as well, because it's not like, oh, you assign a therapist or you go and sign up for a therapist and you get a one assigned to you and it'd be like, oh, this is going to work day one. It's like, no, he's not understanding what I'm saying. He's not coming from the same cloth or, cut from the same cloth or, he's not getting to me, on that, emotional level. So it's like, you definitely have times where it's like, I think that's also a thing as well that happens. It's like, oh, it didn't work for me. Therapist didn't work for me. I did a 30-minute session. Went one time. It didn't work for me.
Yeah.
And so it's like, just try it with somebody else. Try it with somebody else. Try it from a different region of the country and stuff like that as well. Because if we don't have to go to a therapist that's on the same street that looks just like you. Like, it doesn't have to be that way. It's not, one off fits all type of thing. So
sometimes you may even want somebody that's outside of your culture because, in a sense, because like also you don't know that I'll put it like this. I have some of my clients that are like not from the same walks of life, I guess, that I've grown up in. I remember telling a story like about my childhood and watch their white women faces go, oh, what? And and it's funny because I didn't even know that some of that stuff was crazy or traumatic until I listened to them who were therapists, but they, just happen to be my clients. They go, so this is actually this. I was like, oh, I was just.
But it's also you have the other side of things where you tell a story and another person from another culture, another race is like, I've had this exact same experience in my household. That one hits like that one hits a little bit better because it's like, okay, we grew up differently, different walks of life. But when I tell a story, he had the same experience. It's like, man, that's crazy. So it's like,
I was alone. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, you never know. I mean, that's why I think like, going out and actually talking to different people, like understanding like a lot of us are the same. Like there's so many different common stuff and how we grew up, especially you talk to the same people like in your age group. It's like, man, y'all went through this. We go through the same things. Like, so
true.
It's kind of one of those.
Or it'd be
man.
like, man, I thought my group had it worse. Or I thought like in my house it would have been like this. What? No AC? Like, or something. It's something just as small as that. But, and so I think that like the more that we take it serious or we make it easier for our friends to have those conversations without us being so awkward with it. Which that's what we have to work on too, because of course, even me going through some of the things that I've gone through will still try to joke sometimes. Like you said, we'll try to crack the joke. Oh boy, at least you ain't, or I don't know. Try to find some joke in that, or I'll even make jokes about myself. With
the ease of conversation. That's what I definitely see myself. I do that a lot. I mean, it's like, you might be dealing with something, but I definitely go deep into anything. So unless it's like a dedicated space, and that's what I try to work with is like, just because we're not in a space that we're talking about mental issues and having something going on that day, that don't mean you can't bring it up. If you feel some type of way,
right,
you should have your friend circle, and maybe some people don't always have that circle. But if you have a circle that you can go to, you should be able to be like, "Hey guys, this is what I would like to discuss right now. Hey, any thoughts?" And they might not have any thoughts, but at least you have it out and open. Just just have that out in the atmosphere and stuff like that. So instead of keeping it bottled up all the time, I think it's tough, and that's how you can identify your true circle. Because if everybody want to make jokes and stuff like that, then maybe that's not the group you're trying to be.
Maybe not that person. Yeah. I'll come back to y'all for the fun stuff, but I know that I need that person.
I need this space. Yeah.
I need someone that, and even I think the one thing that I've also learned is you don't always have to have all the answers for them. If let's say I come to you, this is going on. Sometimes I may not need you to go, well, here's what you can do to fix it. Try this and this. Have you tried this? Sometimes I may just need you to listen to me, man, and just kind of sit there with me and match my energy in a sense.
Right.
But, because
let that person vent.
Yeah, that sometimes is even bigger or and then just tell them, man, I'm there. I'm here for you, man. If you need me to just sit with you, you want,
right.
Hey, I'll buy some hot cocoa or something. Like, I don't know, like whatever it is that we can do, just
especially like
know that I appreciate you and I want you to be here, man. Because
if you just want to get out of the house, like, hey, we just need to get out, different environment. Hey, I just need to be out together somewhere. That's it. You know what I mean? Like some people just need. It's not like I feel like people feel like it's got to be something like super big gesture. In order to get across, but it can be just simply just going to somebody's house or just sitting there, listen to what they have, and get on a phone call with somebody, FaceTime with somebody, just see them face to face.
We're in the year 2022 now. Like now, like we got friends. Like, shoot, I'm in Wichita, you're in Augusta. Hey, bro, can you hop on a video call?
All right,
we're right there, man. So it's be there for your friends without having to make them feel little. And kind of just know, like, if I don't got it's okay to not have the answer or to say, yo, I don't know how I can help you, but if there's anything I can do, if there's anything you want me to do.
Because don't BS it. If you really don't have the answer, don't be like just making words make sense because you feel like that person is needing it. If you really don't have the answer or you really don't have something, either guide them to somebody who may have it or just be that, that crutch right now. Like you don't have to have like, all the answers. And that's one thing I feel like when people shun away from different people, it's when they be like, oh man, he about to BS me again. Like that's when people are like, oh, I ain't about to go to him because as soon as I say anything, he's gonna be trying to find a solution. We're gonna have to work out this elaborate plan to get me back right in 2 days or something like that.
All he's gonna do is tell me to pray, which sure, pray, okay. But sometimes I just need you to just sit there. Sometimes I don't want the person, my hero, to tell me, dude, it's just a choice. And it really does, man. Yeah. And so we definitely have to just be there for each other. And just know, I think one of the other things that I think another aspect that we don't fully address is when someone does die, the way Twitch or Jason David Frank, the Green Ranger, or Robin Williams does, we always think, what more could we have done? What did I do wrong? Why didn't I listen? Why didn't I call? I could have texted them. And I found myself doing that with a lot of my friends that have passed that way. Man, I could have just messaged him. I saw that he messaged me here. He talked, but I was a little busy. We got to remember, man, sometimes it's not your fault. They were doing what they were dealing with. And I think another thing is thinking that they were selfish or that they were weak or they whatever. And that's not the case. I think they were being strong for so long that weight on their shoulders ended up being too heavy for them.
Yeah.
And we have to know that this is them, in their mind at the time, it was the only way that they saw that they could have made their life better, I guess. Or just not even knowing, man. Like, we don't know exactly all the reasonings why. And I heard that even with him, there was he left a note, and I don't even want to read it. It's not even my business, like, I just think that that's for his family and stuff like that. But
yeah, I agree. It's like when stuff like that, you definitely, like you said, you definitely can't internalize stuff and put it on yourself and say, hey, well, how could I change this situation? Because that will definitely eat you up alive. Especially that's years and years, you definitely don't want to put that on your plate as well. And then also like notes, videos. I really hate that stuff like that gets posted and it's just blasted. Even like the takeoff one, like we don't. I feel like stuff like that should be just like surface level. Just give me the title. Like, I shouldn't have to, like, see this, because some of the stuff you can't even like blind yourself away from. Like, you might just open your Twitter feed, you might just open like Instagram, and it's right there. It's like you're not even going searching for it.
And even when you scroll, it's there again. You scroll, it's on 8 different pages, and
so it's like you almost got to like turn off your phone for a day, but you won't even know until you open the phone. So it just, I feel like some stuff should be just left alone, like kind of private situation only with that family, close friends and stuff like that. If they want to know, but it's like everybody should be privy to everybody, even if they are a public figure. And that's what really hurts the most. It's like you getting this blasted and it's repeated. That first day hits is going to be crazy, and then it's going to be the week of, and then they're going to talk about it forever. But you also got to think about the people's families, his kids that will also see this, or how did people take this? Or he was looked at as such a good guy. How could he do this? Those are the things where it's going to hurt those people that's really close to him, because it's like people are going to people are making so much assumptions about that person as well. And it's going to be, it is tough. I think those families definitely have to take some time to reflect and try to get their life and their, how to say it, like, be together with themselves. I think, because this is going to be one of those things where it's going to be like, it hurts deep, but we still have to continue to move on. You know what I mean? And it is tough to, like, I don't know. It's tough to say something now because it's so recent, but it's something that we can't let this define our life, basically. So,
yeah. And I think also, and this is, I don't know, one thing that I've noticed from sound kind of crazy, but I've been going to like a lot of funerals over the past year, like a lot. And losing family members and friends and stuff like that. And so it's it hits pretty hard. But I think with this is tell your people you love them, man. Tell your people that you're there for them. Like, sometimes they may know it. We don't need to just make it just be like, man, they know how I feel, bro. I don't need to say, No, actually be there. Actually have each other's backs, whether it's just a random text. If there's a person on your mind right now, if you're listening to this and there's a person on your mind right now that you haven't talked to in a long time, just hit them up and say, what's up and I love you. We forget that. I find myself doing that. Like, I have random friends that I haven't talked to in a while, or cousins or something that I'm like, I've been meaning to talk to such and such, even if it's about nothing. But then you get so busy with your life and all that. Next thing you know, it's been 3 weeks to a year and you haven't talked to them.
Yeah. And we do it so infrequently because when you say that, if you would say, "Hey, what's up? I love you," what's the next response?
What's going
The
on?
next response, what's going on? What do you need?
What's
You need
going
some
on,
money
bro?
or something? What's going on?
Yeah.
So it's like, it's infrequent because people won't, the next reply won't be like, "Oh, well, I love you too. Hey, how you doing?" type of deal. It'll always be like, "Oh, what's going on? Did you
Yeah.
need money? Are you okay? What's good?" So
Yeah.
it's kind of like,
Do we need to get you help?
we
All
gotta
that.
get back. We gotta get that being the norm where it's like, "Hey, I'm just checking in to seeing everything's good with you," and stuff like that. Like genuinely want to understand and see how y'all doing. So I think that's really a biggest thing for sure.
Yeah. Cause man, I think about like how abrupt, man. It's just like when you think about these guys and women, who just randomly go out the way they do, or I'm trying to see exactly how old he was, but
Which person?
oh yeah, he was 40. Twitch
Yeah.
was 40 years old. That's a young life. That's literally 9 years. I'll be 40 in 9 years. It's crazy to think about, so it's like, like on that Drake song, here today, gone tomorrow, we don't really, we don't stop to take the time sometimes to appreciate where we are, who we've done it with and all that. And so I think that like, I don't know, man. And I guess to bring it all back, like we have to take this stuff kind of serious. We have to not kind of, but really serious, not treat it like oh, God, man, it's been a couple days. You still down?
Yeah.
Like, a lot of times people do that. Like they
don't rush the process.
Yeah. There's grieving and there's, all these different things. And I don't know, man, just know that you're not a burden. Because I think that's another thing,
Right.
man. People tired of feeling like burdens to people just because I don't know how to shake this, but I should be able to. I should be able to choose the better option now. I should be able to choose the better, I guess, emotion. And I can't. Maybe I should just take myself out of the equation or whatever type of thing or thinking behind that, which isn't how people should be thinking.
Right. Yeah. Because I mean, especially when you say, burden, people, it's like, man, I'm always coming to you with my problems, man. But, and that's what I think, like, that's what kind of happens a lot in relationships, like friendship and stuff. It's like you have that friend that's either, go to, like, I have an issue going on. Let me just hit her up and see what's going on. And the thing is, I was like, sometimes you have to give them a little insight of your life, what issues that you've been battling. It may be big or small, but like, okay, he's actually battling something as well. So it's like, because if they just keep on giving the information to you, and you just keep giving them advice, keep on giving advice, they'll just look at you like the strong one, like you got everything going on. Like you just give them like insight into your life as well, and be like, hey, this is what I'm battling with. This is what I'm going with as well. Be like, okay, man,
right.
I see. How can I help you do with this as well? Because if the keep it one sided, that person does feel that certain way. It was like, man, well, I'm just gonna leave him alone for like a month or so. I'll hate always next time.
Yeah, so. I hate that I'm always the one who just pushes all my stuff on him. He may not be the, he may get tired of it. And maybe, and not to always be like one of those people that's like solution oriented when people just may need to listen, but just a random idea. What if within your friend group or your group chat with your bros or whatever, in between talking about frivolous stuff and which girl on Instagram looks good or what game you talking about, what if y'all said, hey, bro, weekly check-in. What are some of the highs that you had this week? What are some of the lows you had this week?
All right.
Be honest, y'all. We ain't gonna roast you. Yeah, we ain't gonna roast you. We ain't gonna do nothing, but we here. It's a safe space. Whether it's something like that, hey, man, my high was I did this. Some of the low, I felt really low on Wednesday, man. I ain't gonna lie. My mental health was a little, you know what I'm saying? And we here for you, bro. Love you. Blah, blah, blah.
All right. And I think that's the thing. And like, it's not a competition. I think that's also a thing.
No.
Like, my low is the lowest. So that's why we got to address this. It's like everybody has their own, spectrum of stuff. So it's like, hey, so I got somebody in class. He just failed his test. That's a low. You know what I mean? Like, that's something.
It don't got to be, okay, well, my grandma died. So what?
No. Yeah, I was like, we don't have to compete. And I think that's the thing, because also like people like, especially in the community, trying to compete for like who's the hardest, like who had the struggle growing up and like that. Yeah. I was like, we don't have to go through the battle of like, oh, I had it worse. So let's just look at that person, address that person. He had it worse than everybody else. So I say everybody has their own level of what they went to, and degree of what they went through. So just put it out there, and be vulnerable. I think that's the biggest thing, man.
Yeah.
Allow yourself to be vulnerable, and just don't feel like you have to bottle everything up. I feel like get the right people. Don't also, if I was to give something, I also would say like, just because you have friends that you are close with, you don't have to feel like that has to be that circle. If you feel like that's not the right space for you to say stuff, or like stuff, like identify that and try to find somebody else, or find another, family member or a friend that can be a resource to you, or you can be a resource to them, or
Yeah.
also see
Yeah.
therapists as well if you can't find any, the friends and family that you have around. So it's like, just identify something with yourself, and then, trying to make those actions for yourself. So,
Oh yeah. Yeah. Shoot. And I'll even, man, and I ain't trying to like, I don't know. And I've always kind of said that with myself. And I've even like, I remember I used to just randomly make Facebook posts, especially when my friends started dropping off, I guess. I don't know how to say it in a better way. But hey, y'all, if you feel like you don't have a person to talk to, you do now. Reach out, hey, bro, how you doing? It can even start off light. But, it just, I remember my first one was, so how like in like black families, how you got like cousins that ain't your cousins. It's like, yeah, it's like, so I had this one where we cousins because my grandma and his grandma was like literally at my grandma's 80th birthday, they talked about it. They've been best friends since they were 5.
Mm.
And so like they whole life they've been close. So then my mama and his mama grew up feeling like cousins and all that. And we'd all be either at my grandma's house or his grandma's house. And I grew up, and me and him were like months apart. We grew up months apart. Or we were born like months apart. So he was like my first friend, one of my first friends that I had, and I remember going to the Navy. We kind of, we went his way. He lived up in Olathe, Kansas, like a couple hours north of up there by Kansas City. And, I lived here in Wichita, but we're from Coffeyville. So we'd go back to our hometown, our small town or whatever. And I always see him a few times a year. And then when I randomly got the news that he passed that way, I was just like, we're only 22 years old. Why would he? But he could have called. That's when I went through all those thinking of putting it on. What was he going through? What was he? Man, it couldn't have been never like, the way I was originally thinking around that time. And I don't know, man. Sometimes it's really like, it hurts. Like just because we think that we could do more, but like be there for people, I think, if you can. So like I said, I'm here, ever since then, that was when I was just like, anybody that's on my friends list, like, you're on my friends list,
Yeah, that's a good point, man. Yeah, man. It's tough, man, especially those situations, man. So, yeah. I mean, we do this podcast, but, we talk offline. So, I'm here for you. So, if anything.
And likewise, man. Shoot, yeah. We talk all the time anyway. But yeah. Y'all. Shoot, we kind of went on a long tangent about that. Didn't expect to go that long. But
yeah.
Definitely I felt like it was one that's kind of overdue. It's one that was overdue. I mean, literally, it was like our second or third podcast where we watched one of our superheroes die this way. Shoot, literally, I mean, if we're being serious, we didn't mention him, but he didn't die from this way. But we also saw, Chad die and nobody. And I remember when he was sick, when Chadwick Boseman got sick, and everyone just made jokes and assumptions and this and that. Nobody checked on him. And of course, he was keeping it secret. But like when you saw his face, that last picture that he posted, where his face was kind of sunk in, he had that blue baseball cap on.
Yeah.
Everybody tried to make all the jokes. He stripped of the strength of the Black Panther and all blah, 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 all the different stuff, trying to say he was on drugs. Man was literally fighting cancer this whole time. He was entertaining and being a symbol, was changing the trajectory of Marvel. And we was just kind of like, whatever about it. We Kevin Conroy, the voice of Batman, just passed. You know, so literally we watched our superheroes go before us. You know, and you didn't think to say goodbye or nothing. I mean, because you don't know. You don't know when's the last time. So, you know, definitely also watch how you talk to people. I think you never know what someone's going through.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's what I mean. That's the biggest thing too. Like you don't know what that person's going through, how that person's feeling. Like if you don't like, I mean, some situations, yes, you need to talk to somebody some type of way they affecting you, like in your family, you know, being an aggressor. But if you just having a random day, you just making fun of somebody that's out the blue, like what possessed you to do stuff like that? So it's like, you know, one of the things most of us grew up is like say something nice or don't say something at all, and that's true today.
Man,
so
yeah, and I always kind of like I think it was I forget when it was, but I gave myself a phrase. I mean, besides the defeat is no option thing, you know, it was don't take anything personal, even if it's personal. And I guess the reason why I said that to myself was I kept seeing how people was treating me or like when I worked in service, or I guess I'm in the service industry now, but like when I worked at like PacSun or something selling clothes or I used to fix phones and people come in with talking to me crazy and they'd even maybe make you black, blah, 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 or whatever. They would try to direct insults at me. And I started like not even being mad. I was able to calm myself down and be less angry of a person because I was going, oh, you're not even mad at me.
Right.
You got something going on. And because we never know what's going on in other people's lives, whether it's a stranger or your best friend or whatever, unless they tell you.
Right.
And I remember once there was this lady, I was fixing, it was when I worked at the phone repair place in the middle of the mall. She comes up to me. And this is before I started doing iPads. Now I did only a couple of phones. So there's some days I'm like, hey, you got to wait for the other guy or whatever. So she walked up to me and I was off the day before. I don't know what y'all did. She comes up to me yelling, going crazy. I'm like, excuse me, ma'am, hold on.
Her phone.
She had like an iPad or something. She had an iPad. I was like, first off, I don't even do iPads. So I know that it wasn't me who did this. We do have warranty, but hold on. She said, come back yelling more. I was like, hold on. Okay, first off, you've never seen me before, right? She's like, no. I was like, okay. I don't know what's going on, but I know it's not directed at me. And one thing that I do require is that people do talk to me with respect. And that's the only way that I'm going to do the same to you. So I don't know what's going on. I hope everything is okay, but just know like we do have a warranty program so that this can get handled without all this. She's like, you know what? I'm sorry. My sister, and it was almost like a cartoon the way this happened. She goes, you know what? I'm sorry. My sister just got beat up and her sister just appeared right there just with like the biggest black eye swollen. I was like, I didn't even see her there a second ago. And she's like, this happened. And then our mom just died last week. And I was like, oh, hold on. First off, wasn't ready for all this, but all right, I'm here. All right. You know, so then she finally was like nice to me the whole rest of the way. I'm very sorry for how I acted earlier. This now, hey, it's fine. You know, but basically, you never know what someone's going through. So what if I would have just matched her energy in a sense and was like, oh, no, okay, is this how you want it? Da-da-da, you know, and went back at
that
her.
would have blew up. Exactly.
And knowing that she's going through all that, and I'm fine. I'm having a good day that day.
Right. Because then you also, like, if you do that, then the next customer that you have, you meet them with that same aggression. Be like, so what you want now? You know what I mean? Like you pretty much taking on that energy for the rest of the day. Like you just ruin your mood because of, you know, what another person had brought to the table, basically. So
And it was something way bigger than what was even going on, you know. So you never know what people's going through, man. And never try to downplay. If someone comes to you, even if it's like some rich person is super sad because one of their 30 cars got wrecked, and you're like, here you go, whining about, okay, but to them, it's a big deal.
Right.
Even if something isn't a big deal to you, it could be the world to them. And, you know, so yeah, man, I don't even have a transition out of this right now, man. I really do appreciate this conversation. I really appreciate, you know, all of this. And I know this is something I just thought of right now. Like, if you have anyone, period, whether it's a business or a person or someone that you appreciate, because actually Christmas is coming up.
Yep.
Christmas is coming up. And I know that one of the things that I like to think of when I think of these holidays, or these 5 weeks from Thanksgiving to New Year's, is what I'm thankful for, who's a gift to me, or someone that makes me feel good, or just someone that you just want to just like kind of highlight that makes you feel better of a person, or anything like that. I know it's kind of sprung on you and you ain't really think about it, but
yeah, word it again.
Who is there, I guess, who is someone that you're thankful for or feels like a gift to you?
Well, I mean, I think the easiest one is always, the family, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I would say, like, going through, life, you always look through like who has always been there with you, and it's always been my family. I mean, we never had no big falling out. We're pretty close knit as well. So it's like, I think just, going through life, I'm always thankful for them. We always try to get together around Thanksgiving. If not Thanksgiving, then Christmas. And to me, that means a lot. It means that, we find each other, we put ourselves as priorities for one another when it come around that time. And we make our way no matter what, destination that we're at. During the year, we make our time to get back here at home. Or if we're not here at home, we try to go somewhere all together. So for sure, it's definitely going to be them. I can't, sing out just one individually. So I definitely had to be them as a unit.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I can definitely tell with y'all, like y'all, especially, I guess it's y'all always been there the whole time growing up,
And also, I mean, it's also, I think, the age group as well. I think we're all of us is 2 years apart, so also closer, and siblings as well. And then, parents are still together, still in the same house. So I think it's kind of one of those that's kind of, we just all feel connected when we all get back together as well. So,
man, shoot, I like that. Yeah, it's one of those things. It's the American, or I guess like the family dream, I guess. I definitely, man.
And we ain't perfect. I mean, we do get some battles and fights,
sure.
For sure. But
for sure, everybody got their crazy. I did this and this sibling story and all that. Yeah, oh yeah, man, for sure. I definitely right off the bat would say, of course, my family, my wife, of course. She's, man, like I started off the show about her, and seeing her resilience and her being able to push through when things get hard, and also hold me accountable. Because a lot of times people aren't good with accountability.
Mm-hmm.
People aren't good with, and that's a whole other conversation we can talk about, male and female accountabilities and stuff like that. But there's been a couple times. I remember when I first started my Dino Fit, feet is no option, all that type of stuff. I remember, and I wanted to start making shirts. And I was still, I didn't own a gym yet. I was just a trainer struggling and all that. And I wanted to, make something else, another source of income, but also a way to get my message out. And we'd be talking to Carl, like, man, I could do this with the shirts. I could make this design. This would be cool, this and that. And then one day I was talking to her and I was like, why are you acting like you just don't even care or something? Like, I almost got mad at her a little bit. And she was just like, well, do it. Do it. You keep talking about it and you're not I haven't seen you do anything past the talking about it stage. And at first, right off the bat, I'm like, man, talking
Got
about,
defensive, yeah.
yeah, man. Okay, support me, you know. But that was her supporting me, and it made me go, okay, let me start quickly. I hit people up, this and that, you know. So then Dino Fit was first born, where you started finally seeing things on fabrics, on people's bodies. And I'm like, man, I'm really, so that probably would have been slowed down if I hadn't had her to just go, come on in. You said you want to do this, then do it. Either do it or don't. She's like, well, like either do it or stop talking about it. I was like, oh, okay. All right. Well,
you got on her nerves.
Yeah. And then also another one, another big one, because of course my mom and my sisters and, my brothers and stuff like that, my dad, but a big one, my friend Sam, my Navy buddy, we started off, felt like a polar opposite, he's from Western Kansas. I'm from, over the rural Western Kansas, y'all, super rural, and what people think Kansas looks like. The cows in the fields and all that. And I'm from, I guess what you would call the city, and we actually met in A school where everybody thought that we were, that we had to know each other because we were both from Kansas. And I was like, yo, that's not how the state works. Like, did you know that guy over there, Aberson, Sam Aberson? I was like, no, and we're a year apart. He's class of '08, I'm class of '09. And and so me and him, we ended up like running together because we were both two of the faster people in our class, and we needed partners, I guess. And he like pushed me to be faster, but even more so, we ended up being roommates for the first 2 years when I did the special program that I was in with like the pirates and stuff like that. And we were on our first mission together, and we grew to be like real brothers. Like, you can't, I mean, if you looked at us, it's just a black dude and a white dude, but that's my brother. Like, you can't tell me otherwise, and you definitely can't tell him. Like, he got my back. He fly in for whatever. He was at my wedding and all that. Like, but yeah, he's one of my biggest supporters, even of this. Anytime I have a drop, like just like how I was like, hey man, I'm thinking about coming out with it. Hey man, put me down for one.
Yeah,
like,
man.
Real quick. Ain't much of a conversation. I don't got to do this in. Whatever you got going, let's do it.
Right.
And he was like that. He's helped me with things that we ain't even got to talk about. But one of them was also with helping me with my gym, getting that started, the ownership of that, and many other things, man. Literally, because you've seen like, I've been like remodeling my house, and he doesn't live here anymore. He lives in Texas, but he came up one day and helped me put a door together. Me, him, and YouTube put it together. There's just certain little things like that. And he was actually one of my first friends, kind of to bring it all together. That was my vulnerable friend, where we were able to have those serious conversations with each other out to sea when we were feeling low and all this, and missing family and everything else. Just we were able, even now, we're able to, hey, bro, been feeling low, this and that. I'm here.
And that's good to have, especially out in the environment that y'all was in, to have a roommate that was truly a friend. Because some people don't have that experience to be like, man, I'm in here by myself. Like, this other person is like a shadow, just a being in the room. So,
because it's set up like dorms.
That's lifelong.
Yeah, it's set up like dorms. So you probably picture how it looked in college, how you got like the roommate, and then y'all share a bathroom with some other people.
Yeah.
Sometimes you cool with them. Sometimes you just like, it's the other dude that's in the room with me.
Yeah, you got a roommate, now you have a friend. Like, it's different levels for sure, man. Yeah, that's dope. I'm glad y'all had that relationship and that bond, and then y'all continue to grow as well. So, I mean, it's a blessing to have those type of friendships. I'll definitely have some friendships like that for sure. It's lifelong. I mean, I think a lot of us get it from either high school. Some of us got it in college. I definitely have, a lot of bros that I definitely call family. Like for sure, like, when that day come for wedding, I'll definitely have them like, hey, y'all gonna be groomsmen, like everybody, y'all about to be ready. Yeah. So it's like, you definitely have to have those people in your life. I feel like that's important. People that you can truly call family that are not blood related.
Oh yeah. Because then they also come from those different walks. They also come from, even if they similar or whatever, you know, I got like friends from Texas, you know, we both black, both from this, but his worldview was a little different from my worldview, but we both, you know, it's really cool to have that and form those different bonds. And I think that after that post high school life, I think also for like college or the Navy or whatever, for some reason, because I think maybe it's because we just stuck with them. Like we're literally stuck in that environment with them, makes you stick with them. I think, you know, you're going through these big things. And matter of fact, shoot, the first time we got attacked out to sea, it was me and him. Shoot, you know, and just knowing like, you know, we also have those to talk about and different things. And yeah, man. So yeah, definitely. I don't know. It just was on me to just think of like that, you know, so I'm very thankful for all of the people in my life that are gifts, you know. If you rock with me, if I talk to you on a regular basis, even if I don't, a lot of y'all are definitely my gifts, you know, because I don't really need anything. You know, I'm cool with whatever I got. Maybe I need a new laptop setup, but I'll do that myself. You know, I just want people relationships. You know?
Yeah, man. That's the way to be.
But yeah, we'll probably have a Christmas movie, or not movie, but like we won't do Christmas movies, but we'll have one more episode that'll probably come out before Christmas. Hopefully. Something like that here soon. Once again, thankful for all you guys for rocking with this like you have. Definitely have seen a big growth. But yeah, shoot. Like I always say, whether we chat like bros or I debate you like an enemy, it's all fun and games. Just match my energy.
Yes, sir. Be out.
Just match my energy. Just match my energy. Yeah.